So how are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Loving
we've been
Colorado.
Yeah, we love Colorado in the summer, fall. So the aspens are changing now, so it's beautiful up here. We're up by Poncha Springs.
Poncha Springs. Yes.
Poncha Springs, Colorado.
And so you guys are working on a build for a shuttle bus right now that's not yours.
Right. Actually, yeah,
No.
Gina, who's on one of the viewers here, Gina Pawski, we just finished up
Gina.
her short bus about a week and a half ago. And yeah, so we're taking a little break here and getting ready for some more projects down in Arizona this winter. So
is that what you do? You travel the country and you help people build?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I did remodeling and like regular carpentry, standard, typical carpentry in Madison, Wisconsin, up until a little over 2 years ago. And we decided to take on this crazy life. And, but so I had to use my skills to help build the bus. And then through a whole crazy series of events, met Jax, and through Jax met Badge and met Jamie at the big van build down in Parker, Arizona. And through that, met Bob Wells and a whole bunch of those people.
Helps his assistant.
But I helped his assistant, redo her van. And then that led to basically just kind of starting a whole business of doing van and bus builds, and also volunteering to help other people when between the paid jobs.
Yeah.
And so
it's nice. The paid jobs kind of pay for being able to help people who.
So you guys recently put out a video for your 2-year anniversary of this life, but what in the world possessed you to do this?
Yeah, you want to take it?
Oh, wow. I think, we were contemplating our escape somehow. We didn't know how it was going to be. Like, we thought about tiny houses and maybe, getting a little piece of land, or we knew we wanted to come west. We were living in Madison, Wisconsin. We lived there for about 27 years.
Yes.
Right?
Yep, right around there.
And loved it. It was wonderful. We had a great life there, but we just were bored and wanted to do something different. And so let's do this. Because why?
Why
not?
If you're going to have a tiny home, why not take it to beautiful locations everywhere instead of building a tiny house and sticking it on a piece of land and having, some beautiful view. Here we can go to beautiful views all over the place. We can open our doors right now and
all you nomads know this.
But
yeah, it was kind of a 5-year plan that turned into a 2-year plan to get on the road. Which was much better. It was much better. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Don't, do it when you can. Obviously don't do it before you can afford it and you have like a, little backup and stuff like that. We had that, but do it as soon as you can. Cause I would say, don't waste time. Don't, thinking
life's
about
too
it.
Short.
Life's too short. It really is. I really believe that we're really happy out here.
It's awesome.
So it was definitely a good decision. Did you know that you were going to do the step van, or did you have anything in particular in mind when you started looking?
Yeah, after again, I was watching lots of videos about tiny homes, and then I stumbled across videos about like Eamon and Beck and people like that doing sprinters. So that was
the van life.
that was our original thought, was to do a sprinter, but they're just so expensive, and we couldn't find one that was
crazy.
Anywhere near the price range that we could afford. And when we start to really look at the size of them too, they're that you can buy ones that are fairly tall, but they're not real wide. You can get ones that are very long. But I'm almost 6'3". Robin's up 6 feet tall.
I'm almost 6 foot, so we're tall people.
Yeah, that kind of limits your options a bit. Even doing like Gina's bus. Her buses, most of those little short buses are only about 6 feet tall. So one of the first videos I mentioned that it's, really think about that. If you are someone that's looking into different things, how big are they? How much room is there really in them? But the big one was that we were again looking, and we were seeing ridiculous, crappy old ones that they wanted ridiculous amounts of money for. And so I'd been seeing other shuttle buses and buses pop up on Craigslist and on the marketplace and things like that. And this one popped up. We were in Madison, and this one was down in Chicago, and it was like, well, should we change our, or change our ideas? Or shift our thinking.
And actually, it was the best thing we ever did. Okay, so
besides that, it's a six-liter diesel.
There's been some issues.
Oh, I hear you.
There's been some issues.
We kind of jumped into it a little quicker than we wanted. No, we didn't really do the research on that, but we loved the size and the format of it, and so we just went ahead and bit the bullet. We got it for $3,000. It only had 118,000 miles on it. So. Again,
which is right when the EGR goes out, just so you know, like around 120,000. Just FYI,
great help from Badge on that. But
thank you, Badge. Yeah. Oh, Badge has been our savior.
So any of you who don't know, Badge is like a saint down here, by the way.
Oh, he is a saint. He's Saint Mechanic, Saint.
But so we decided, and once we actually got it, it was such a great. Again, it's almost it's about 7 feet wide and over 12 feet long on the behind the driver's seat to the back, and it's much more straight up square sidewalls, and the roof is got a very slight. It's not like a lot of buses have a much more curved around the edges, so it just is a lot more square. It feels a lot more spacious and everything. So that's kind of
it's reinforced steel ribbing on the top, so it's very safe. If we ever something happened, it would literally, just like a bus, it would just kind of fall over. It wouldn't crush That was one of the things,
roll over like a turtle.
About RVs that we worry about a little bit, especially if like a Class C or something where you're in it.
Yeah.
If that kind of
or even if you get caught in like a tunnel wind or plow wind or something, right?
Yeah.
They're coming down. People doesn't think of those things because a lot of RVs just can't withstand that.
It's amazing. Yeah,
they're like a big billboard going down the road. So they just kind of, if they're so light and airy, it just pushes them right over. Where
this thing is so heavy. Yeah, it's really heavy.
We're about 13,000 pounds, so
probably we're overweight. We don't. Put the air springs in. We just you figure it out. You van lifers know we're all overweight. Probably. Have a little extra weight on the back end.
I know. I didn't plan on getting my ambulance, and then when I found it, I knew that's what I wanted, and I'm just the right height for that because I'm only 5'8".
There you go. I mean, see, you have an advantage because, and like Gina, she doesn't worry about the roof.
Yeah,
she doesn't have to worry about that. So,
and our friends, we have a couple other friends of ours that up in Oregon that have an ambulance that.
The Ambo, Jack and Kelly.
Yeah, Jack and Kelly, but
Fair Passage.
Fair Passage is their channel on Instagram and stuff. But he did a really nice job on and he actually just reworked it this summer a bunch. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
That man never stops doing projects.
He's a busy
ever.
Really? Yeah, Badge knows him too.
Yeah, Badge knows Jack. Yeah,
but same thing. He's over 6 foot tall, so he's just got enough height in there to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But, Yeah. Well, I got to tell a quick story on how we met him. That was, again, people probably know. Well, some people are familiar with Jax Austin and how he was hanging with Badge back a couple years ago, or 3 years ago. And we got down to Quartzsite that first year after the van build, and our U joints were going bad, and we made an appointment at a local place in Quartzsite, and then Jax was like, "Oh, you got to talk to Badge. He'll fix that for you." And he was over in Ehrenberg.
He's just over there. He's just
we had no idea. It was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." Right. So we take our rig over there, and he calls us as we're on the way, and he's like, "Oh, it's an 06 Ford, right? Yeah, okay, great." So 05 Ford E53, yeah. So anyway, so we get there. He's already got the U joints. He bought them at the car parts store, and he throws a piece of drywall under our rig, and next thing you know, away ripping our
under there. It's like
drive shaft out. But I mean, he had the whole thing fixed in like an hour and a half, and it was unbelievable. And we're
maybe 2 hours, but
maybe,
it was crazy. And I just got to hang with Al and Patch, so that was really fun.
In the middle of nowhere out in the desert,
met
it's
Bob.
just too funny. Yeah, but we've been fast friends ever since.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, we had a great time. They've been we love you guys. We miss you. I wish you were coming down.
It's too bad Badge can't come out and see you guys. I know
that maple marshmallows, thanks to them.
See, again, these maple marshmallows. I'm Canadian and I've never even heard of them until this stuff with Badge. They're not a normal thing in my grocery store.
Oh, they're going to be sending you some now. That's all you needed to say.
Well, shipping in Canada sucks.
I'm just saying no.
I am gonna have to Google where he gets them from. I could imagine like in Ottawa or something is a very touristy Canadian kind of thing, right?
The brand name. I don't know what the.
I know too. You guys have done a couple of product reviews of coolers. Is that the only stuff you've done reviews of?
So far, yeah. We actually, I just did some shooting today for about awnings that we've been dealing with, but yeah, so far that's the only one that we've done. We've got a lot of other stuff that we've been using, and that we're
really bad at the YouTubes. We're just slow learning curve.
Well, we're finding out what works too, what people like to see, and what people like to watch, and everything.
But we love so when we to save money on food, so we have a winter fridge. And it's got it's got separate compressors for you can do 2 fridges, 2 freezers, or freezer frizz. So what we decided to do was do our big side as a freezer. That way we could get a lot of food to freeze, the small side as the fridge, and then have an extra cooler. And so that was kind of the cooler review, because that was kind of our new thing. Vegetables are really bulky, and so it's really hard to keep them in there. Like have enough space for them. And that was kind of the whole thing with the new coolers, to have our vegetables in there. They stay really good in the ice. And we got a little ice maker. We can just make enough ice to keep the cooler cool enough.
Yeah. You have an ice maker in there?
Yeah,
we have to use it on the generator.
A little portable cooler igloo ice maker one. That was in that. Yeah, we did that as well. And I mean, several other people have been talking about it, and we've seen them, and it was like, it seems kind of crazy. And they do use a bit of power, so
we use it on the generator
when we're running the generator. So
which we do every day almost, for a certain amount of time.
We've learned that.
But do you have solar as well?
Yeah. Yep. We have
most everything's on solar.
Yeah, we have 340 watts of panels on the roof, and then we have lots of solar lights and other little things that charge separately, and we've got 2 Battleborn batteries. So we have 200 amp hour or 200 amp hours, watt hours.
Amp hours. Yeah.
Yeah, amp hours. That's the one. And so most of the time we don't need to actually run the generator. I have it more for when I'm running miscellaneous tools or charging batteries.
That's really what we bought it for. But we found that Eric wanted a television, so we got a TV, which is a bigger monitor. And
it's only 32 inches.
And we don't like that. It really does. It's kind of like I
don't mean to sound sexist, but that is just so typical, isn't it?
It was part of his birthday.
Yeah.
He had a really good birthday this year.
I ordered it, and then said, "Oh, hey, we got a TV coming."
Yeah, he's done that, I think, with all the electronics we've ever bought in our entire life. I just come home to new television sets and stereos, and hey, guess what we got today? No. It's fine.
So do you have to run the generator?
We're movie people, so we love watching the movies.
Yeah, we have to do the generator to watch the TV, just because
it takes up too much power, and the ice maker. So we end up, it's funny because when you think about, when you're gonna do this life, how much off grid you're gonna do. We end up probably doing about 4 hours of generator time almost every day.
Yeah.
Because if we need to make ice, we want to watch TV, it's just going to drain the batteries too much. So that's kind of how we work it out.
So then how long does your fuel for your generator last? Like how long can you guys go off grid with your setup?
We can go quite a while. I mean, we have a 20 liter gas can, whatchamacallit, and it uses, I'll fill it up, and it's like about, I think it's a little less than a gallon that it holds, and it'll go. Like 12 it can go for if you put it on the energy saver mode, it'll go for 8 to 12 hours.
But we've had it on
if we run
forever,
a few more things, if we run the ice maker and a couple other things, that'll go for 7 or 8. But
we usually don't use it that long, so it's we don't usually have to test it that much, which is nice. Except when you're working with it, probably more.
So how long is the longest you've been off grid?
Well, if it rains, or we did have that snowstorm.
You have a premiere coming up tomorrow night with that snowstorm.
Tomorrow morning, that one's going to be up about.
That's right.
Our little blizzard we got stuck in here in early September in Colorado.
It was the perfect blizzard because it lasted for 2 days. We got 15 inches of snow. It was absolutely gorgeous, and then it melted in a day and a half. So we had total of 3 days, snow, beautiful winter, and then it was back to normal. And we're oh, will there be mud? That's what we were kind of worried about.
And
Nothing.
it wasn't muddy at all.
So it's so dry here. It's just like soaked in.
Beautiful snow-capped mountains all around.
Yeah, for a couple of weeks.
It was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah,
I have to say, it was the most beautiful small mini blizzard I've ever seen.
And you don't get too worked up or worried about it when you know that it's just going to disappear pretty fast.
We have a good meter, and we were actually getting solar while it was snowing, which kind of freaked us out.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, it was totally overcast, and we were still cranking out over 150 watts on our panels. So,
oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
It was nice.
Yeah,
but I mean, we can go without having to go get water or do it about a week and a half at the longest, typically.
We only have stretching it.
Yeah, we only have a 15-gallon freshwater tank under the cabinets, and then we have an extra 7-gallon, actually 2 7-gallons now.
14.
So we kind of
plus 4,
and then a couple extra loose single gallons.
18 gallons extra. So we have 15 and 18. That's what we have for water.
Yeah. So we're
almost
over
30.
We're close to 30 gallons. Where some people can have 30 gallons just in one tank under their in their rig. So. So we went a little smaller just for the weight and the we're always around somewhere that we can reload.
And when we first started out, we just had the van or the bus, van bus, whatever it is. And so you'd be stuck places, and we decided to get a second vehicle. We got one and it died on us, but then we got the Subaru last year, probably around this time last year, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's been a total game changer in terms of how we camp now, because now we can stay for much longer periods of time and just go really explore the area.
Roads and go off and
we're not worried about it, coming up here with it or
and then we can just go. We can load up the water jug and run it down to the water and load up and bring it right back, and we don't have to take the whole rig to fill up. Yeah,
we can go do stuff, go take hikes, not have to take the van. I mean, it's just it's completely different. And we don't have a tow for it now. We're planning to, but we don't travel enough in how we travel for it to be an issue of me just driving it to the next place. Like,
well, that's good.
We're not traveling all the time. So what we like to do is travel a couple hundred miles, maybe stay for a couple of weeks, travel another couple, or if we're staying in the same area, like we have for most of Colorado, we've kind of gone from Leadville to Twin Lakes, Poncha Springs, we've kind of gone around this whole central Rocky area.
Yeah, National Forest land and BLM land.
Isabel National Forest,
all
mostly.
Free and all beautiful.
It's been wonderful. Yeah, we've had a really great time. And while Eric's been doing this build and stuff, but now we're camping with some other friends, and we're going to start moving west. And so that's our plan. As the weather starts to get cooler, obviously we want to start moving west and southwest.
Lower elevations.
Yeah, for sure. Now, who does all the cooking?
Oh yeah. She's the cook. I'm the lucky guy that gets to eat all of her great cooking.
I love cooking. It's my hobby. It's a hobby of mine.
So how do you cook in the shuttle bus?
We have a Camp Chef stove, and it's funny, tonight we actually use the oven. We have the camp oven. Should I show them?
I don't know if you can see it.
I don't know if you can see. It's there. It's the oven, camp oven.
Okay. Yeah.
It's one of those Coleman box things that you just kind of open up.
Because I made enchiladas tonight, which we haven't used it for a while, and so we set it up, made the enchiladas. We're gonna eat them after this, and but worked out great. So I've just kind of adjusted. I don't use the oven that much, so I'm mostly doing saute. If we can do a fire.
Yeah,
we like to cook over the open fire. We love that.
Things. Badge will attend to attest to that. We've made some beautiful steaks over the fire.
We had a really good surf and turf Christmas this year.
We like to do that when we can. We can't have any, unfortunately, campfires right now, but we'd like to do the what do they call it? With the foil.
Oh, like hobo packs.
Yeah, hobo packs where we'll put everything in the foil and put it down right around the campfire and cook that way too sometimes.
Yeah, we like that.
But that Camp Chef's amazing. I mean, it's 20,000 BTUs per burner on it, which is way more than most of the Colemans.
It's the best stove I've had for a long time. We were living in apartments with electric stoves for the last few years before we came on the road, and I'll take the stove over those any day. It's amazing.
So do you connect it to a 1 pound or to like a big tank?
It's a 1 pounder. Yeah.
And that thing lasts us probably almost a month.
At least, yeah.
1 pound?
And dinner, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we basically just boil some water for coffee in the mornings, and then do maybe a little lunch, but usually one main meal in the.
I usually only cook one meal a day.
Yeah, we don't
usually.
So we don't use it a ton, but it lasts a long time. That thing's amazing.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm amazed at how long it lasts. I mean, we always put it off. We always make sure. And I know people, have issues with having propane in the bus or inside their rig, but we've actually never had an issue with it.
You have an awful lot of windows in there, don't you?
Yeah. We've got lots of windows. Plus, we've got a Max Air fan. We've got,
the fan's always going.
We've got several other little fans and stuff. So we always keep the air moving and always have things cracked and open a little bit. So we're always pretty safe with it.
And a carbon monoxide detector, is that something that you have?
Yep.
Yeah, then I don't see where there's a worry, right?
Yeah. Nope. All good.
Yeah, I think we're
Wow. So the build that you did last, you volunteered your time for that. I was just watching before you building the bed. I thought that was pretty cool how you're doing an L shape and part of it stays permanent and then the other moves. And I was like, oh, that's kind of neat.
Oh yeah, Gina's bed. That was actually paid. Yeah. That was not that. Yeah, that was.
I cut her a little break on that.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, but I don't want to. We don't want to just misinform.
Yeah, that was a fun one. And actually, I just did the recording for the how I cut the foam for the cushions and everything too. Will be coming up pretty soon next week. So. But yeah, that was similar to our bed. If people want to check out our tour on our rig as well, the idea, a lot of people build a permanent bed in the back or wherever they build it. It's a lot of, like sprinters and a lot of people, they do a great big raised up bed and they have a big, area underneath it for lots of storage and everything. But
garage,
we don't have a lot of storage, and we wanted to be able to have it convert to be more of a nice lounge seating area, so we could actually have a few people in here and mix it up a little bit and not just be stuck with a big bed, So that was a big part of our plan. And so Gina liked that, and then and she actually did a lot of, after being in her bus for almost a year, she did her kind of own design of what she wanted to do. And then we kind of worked it out, I drew it all up and worked out the details and then worked out the materials, and we got it all thrown together there in about 6 weeks. So it worked out real good. That was,
nice,
there was other, if people want to do a lot more where, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with Navigation Nowhere and Michael, and, if people want to rip the entire interior out and rip all the wiring out and, re-insulate and start from scratch, it's a lot bigger process with a lot more involved. So there's a lot more going on. Where Gina left the interior as it was. Hey, there she is.
It's right. He has a bike when you guys are talking about the vehicle behind.
Yeah. A lot of people do that. Have a little scooter, a bike, or an e-bike, or whatever.
And that's the other thing, we were thinking about getting some e-bikes. That might still be something that we would do. We have to figure out if we would use them enough.
And if any sponsors want to give us one to test, check out, we're open to that.
Yeah, product testing, right? Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
But we do that. We do the sponsorships.
Well, those are usually people that get have a lot more followers or a lot more subscribers. So.
That's.
Yeah, I've never had
I thought I'd be on YouTube 3 years ago. I worked for the state of Wisconsin for 18 and a half years. It's like this is what I thought my life would be in a few years after that. I don't, it's crazy. I love it. It's crazy. But it's not something that I thought was going to happen or that I ever imagined or pictured in my future. You just don't. But I'm so glad we have, because now I can't imagine going back. Can you?
No, never.
Being stuck in one place, with bad neighbors. Right. Oh my God!
Well, I can't even. I've said it on a couple other things too. Having almost 30 years of carpentry experience is very helpful. Also, I don't have to necessarily. If at the worst case scenario, I could always go get a job working, for some construction company and go do trim carpentry somewhere. But there's what we found again with so many people that are turning to this lifestyle, that there's nonstop people needing, even if it's just, they've bought an older RV and just need a odd change to you know, what they're
something
living
fixed,
with, you know, or something changed around, or but there's so many. I mean, every single day there's got to be 5 or 6 people on Instagram that are, oh, I bought a bus and we're converting it, you know. And I mean, it's amazing how many people are doing this. And I don't know if you have seen that Nomad Land. The film is coming out December 4th here in the U.S. It was at the
have
Toronto,
you guys heard of this?
The Toronto Film Festival, but it's there was a book written by a woman about living nomadically like this, and at the RTR a couple years ago. But they turned it into a film that's going to be with Frances McDormand, and it's going to be coming out in the next month.
David Strathairn.
But it's going to, you know,
like.
it shows life doing all this, and Bob Wells is in it, and a bunch of other folks like that. But it talks, you know, kind of follows people that have turned to this kind of lifestyle. So we have a feeling there's going to be even more people.
And they're back.
I
was going to do a commercial break.
Intermission.
We fixed it really fast.
No, but what do you think about that? I mean, I don't know how the economy is in Canada. I don't think you are dealing with the same stuff we are. But I'm feeling like there might be a real influx and surge of this lifestyle in the next year.
I think that can happen anywhere. The thing that we have for the biggest challenge is the weather. No matter where you live in Canada, you have to deal with snow unless you're on the very, very west coast.
Right. And that's why we left Wisconsin. So we get it. We understand the tundra.
Yeah, and I mean, I live in the heart of the prairies, and before you'd never heard of anyone in a van, but now I actually know a couple of people that are doing some builds. So yeah, it's even in little old Saskatchewan, the changes are coming too.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking to some friends and Williams. So I don't know where you come down when you come here, but so there's kind of like there's a little bit of a circuit. Yeah. For winter, summer, depending on nomad life. So Williams, Arizona is a place where it's the place you go. It's west of Flagstaff.
40, 50 miles.
It's kind of like the gateway to the Grand Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really, weather-wise, this time of year is really good. So a lot of people get there. It's the staging area before they end up going to Quartzsite or along the Colorado River somewhere.
Or Ehrenberg or down there.
Yeah, that's where most of the people that we know.
It's still about 105 there now. You don't want to be there now.
You don't want to be there now. So, but my friend is telling me that she's never seen this many people there. And this is something she does every year. So it's like her normal yearly thing to go here at this time of year. And she's like, it's crazy.
They're piled up, ready.
They're already. And so we're like,
the weather to change.
Yeah. So I think there's going to be a lot of people. I'm interested to see how this is going to all pan out.
Are you worried that it's going to make it harder to live in your bus when there's an increase?
There's always kind of like that. It's a double-edged sword, because on one hand, I want people to do this because this is so amazing and awesome. I mean, as long as you're ready to do it and you can do it. I mean, we just happen to kind of be good at this, I guess. And it wasn't hard for us to convert to this life.
Yeah.
Do you think it was pretty easy?
Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting just to see. I mean, one thing I've noticed, I mean, people say that or you worry about that, but then, I mean, when we're looking for a place that's good to dry camp or boondock, there's so much national forest and so much BLM land.
The West is really amazing. You have to, there's so much space.
Yeah, I mean, there is massive areas. It's just a matter of people find one place that's right near where there is a Safeway and where there's water and all the things they need. And so those get really clustered up with a lot of people, where if you're able to get a little farther away, you can make it work a lot, with no problem.
Well, this is one thing. There is one thing I do worry about here is that there's some people who ruin it for everyone.
Yeah.
And they leave their trash. Yeah, they don't go by the rules. So when we got to this space, when Eric was working on Gina's bus, we had a BLM ranger come, and just because there was a pile of stuff, and he was worried that we were just going to leave it there or something. We're like, oh no, we'll take it. And he's like, yeah. He was telling us the story of this couple that had been in this area, this kind of same spot. They were just burying all their bags of trash.
Oh.
Yeah, just right out in the trees.
Just right around. And so what I did was, and so we started noticing that, some of the animals had started, so I went around and started trying to find as much as I could. And we, because we were going to do dump runs anyway, might as well try and get all that and get it out there. It was, okay, why would you pee in a bottle and bury the bottle? Why would you do that?
Just the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
Ranger, I'm like, oh, I get it. They were really.
Yeah, we ended up making 2
runs
to the local landfill. Yeah, just filled up the car with debris, and
it wasn't fun.
Crazy.
It wasn't fun.
Yeah,
it was
people
not.
are just amazingly idiots, but. Unfortunately,
so that's what worries me a little bit. That's what worries me a little bit is the people who do that kind of stuff, and if there's enough people who do that, they're going to start closing stuff down, and that's what worries me. That's what really worries me.
Going Green Mom thinks that a lot of people are going to find they don't like the inconveniences.
Yeah. I mean, it's romanticized in a lot of ways, especially with a lot of the Sprinter vans and a lot of that, and people think it's all just this big, beautiful Instagram thing. I mean, you got to find water, you got to find a place to take your trash, you got to find a lot of, and unless and you've been at it for a little while, it's tough. And
we had to figure a lot of stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, you learn a lot. Yeah, you learn a lot in the first 6 months.
You learn from people. I mean, but you find out where the dumpster is. We know we know where to put the trash. We know the recycling. We know how to get water. I mean, you just basically figure out all of that stuff. And there's certain places where there is that people go there for those reasons, because that stuff is accessible and
there's some good apps
easy.
As well. There's iOverlander.
Yeah, we like iOverlander a lot.
Campendium and quite a few other good apps that can kind of help steer you towards handy things like that, where especially if you're new to it, it's handy to see those things and figure out what's what.
Yeah.
But,
I like this comment because everyone confuses simple life for easy life.
Right.
Not the same thing. That is brilliant. You write that down.
It's so true, because simple is I mean, you're paring down your.
You don't have as much stuff, but you still got to deal
You're
with
choosing which
life.
Problems to solve. And that's what you're doing in any life that you choose. So you're just going to choose, okay, I'd rather solve these problems, trying to find water and where my garbage is going to go, than having to pay rent and utilities. Yeah. So, I mean, it's basically a trade-off. You figure out what some people would never make that trade-off. But
yeah, it's funny. Like we did a van tour on Tiny Home Tours that's had over 300,000 views with Chris. And it's every once in a while I'll pop back on there and check comments. And it's so funny. Like every third comment is, because we mentioned we don't take showers. We only take a shower about once a week, typically. And people, oh my God, that's horrifying. Oh, that's disgusting.
It's so much about the showers.
You must stink like to high heaven. It's like, it's just funny,
I took a shower once a week when I lived in my apartment. It's no different.
If you're planning to live this life and you want to take a shower every day, build a shower in your rig and put a big water tank in so you can do that. I mean, it's it's just different people. But you don't need to take a shower every single day. Humans are just not built for that. I mean, we've only been doing that for the last 100 years or so.
But some people really want to shower every day. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
you can plan around that.
If you want to, rock and roll.
For us, if you look back at times a little bit, people never used to bathe on a daily basis, and it'd be like a bath day for the whole family, right?
Right.
I mean, it depends on your energy levels and what you're doing, but also there's ways to maintain a person's hygiene between showers as well.
Right.
Well, and what happens is that if you don't shower all the time, your body reaches an equilibrium of your essential oils. My hair does not get greasy. I mean, I have taken a shower in the last 4 days. Probably.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4 days.
3 or 4 days ago. I don't remember.
3 days.
You know exactly, honey. Such a good
report. Don't you play into the stereotype?
When you live this close, it's just how it is.
You go a little nose deaf after a while. Yeah.
Hopefully.
But it is weird though. I find that I feel like I smell worse the day after I've taken a shower than.
Well, that's interesting. That would definitely be interesting to feel like you smell worse the day after. Yeah, I think the bad apples will definitely weed themselves out.
Sorry about that. Back to shower.
It's all part of the show. Yeah, I know a lot of people that only wash their hair maybe once a week, and they've said their hair now isn't producing those extra oils.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I think the longest I went was 2 weeks or something, and I literally did not feel that dirty after that. It's weird. It's like it's like you get dirtier if you wash yourself every day. It's kind of a weird I don't know.
Hey, with hero soup, especially.
With hero soup. It's not like
heavy coating of deodorant.
We don't wash every day. That's the whole thing that people don't think. Oh, yeah, we just don't do any washing.
Wipes and
no, we
things
don't.
that work really well.
Yeah. There's definitely a different way the person has to do it when you're conserving water.
Yeah.
But you guys don't have a shower in your rig, right? You have that shower separate. I don't have a shower either. I feel like I'm worried about condensation and all that extra water, and it takes so much space.
Well, that's one thing we actually will probably be doing a review on in the near future. We did get hey Dan.
Dan.
Old friend from Madison. No, we recently bought a Helio shower.
Say hi to Janet for me.
One of those shower bag things that you sit out in the sun. It's about 6 gallons, and we also bought a really nice large one of those like shower / bathroom tent units that we have sitting out back here, and
the vinegar
so
bath.
we'll fill that up. We fill it up and then sit it out in the sun all day, and if it's not quite hot enough, we can always boil just a half gallon of water and throw it in there, and that really makes it nice and toasty. And so we do have a shower now. We just don't. It's not in the rig, is all.
Do you like having that tent? Like, is there any concerns? Like, if I was going to use one, what would you suggest?
I'm sorry. Say again.
If I was to get like a way to do my showers outside, what would be a way that you would suggest to me to do it?
Well, again, it's kind of hard to say. Are you in? It depends on. Again, we're in National Forest or BLM a lot, so but it's a nice size, and it's totally enclosed, so you could set it up pretty much anywhere. I mean, even if you're in a campground
see anything.
or whatever,
it's nice. It's kind of like open at the top, so you can get the sun coming in, and you can kind of. And so we got that, and we got the Helio.
Yeah.
And we either try and warm it up in the sun. If we don't do that, I just add some boiling water to it, and that's fine. Works great.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's work.
There's Saucy again with some recommendations on her list for her build.
I'm taking notes.
And we like not having that taking up space in our rig either. That's just a lot of space to put a shower in.
Going Green Mom says that if you're bathing too much, you're washing those natural oils off, and then bacteria actually can multiply more. I didn't know that.
I agree with you. Yeah. It's like I feel less dirty the less the more okay, that's not really what I'm saying, but I'm saying I don't feel like I get super dirty anymore because my body is acclimated to taking a shower once a week or every 10 days now at this point.
Yeah.
But we use wipes, the micellar water ones are really nice. It's just like they're very natural. They don't have anything on them, and they really do the job. So Costco, we love Costco.
Yeah. So, I mean, we only have 10 minutes left, and I did promise that we were going to keep it to the hour. Hello, Journey with the Gingers. I think maybe the last thing I want to ask is, how has this last 2 years changed your relationship together? I'm always intrigued by couples that do this.
Okay, so
we hate each other.
Oh, we just
we can't. We just.
Will you shut up?
Muddle through.
So we just had our 28th.
Yeah, 28th wedding.
28th wedding anniversary, and we've been together for 31 years.
Yeah.
So we can ignore each other really well. That's the key. That's the key to a good relationship.
In a tiny space, you kind of have to learn how to do that.
How to completely ignore the other person. Okay, so we're very similar in our personalities.
We've always been best friends, so that was a big part to start with. So
yeah, we always had the friendship thing, and so we could always have fun together. But
we found ways to if I'm working on a build or whatever, it's kind of nice because then she can kind of have her own time here. So we're apart for 6-8 hours, or whatever, on those kind of days. And I've got a couple other. I've been taking up a little bit of fishing and several other different hobbies.
So rock hounding.
Yeah, I love to rock hound when we're down in the Southwest.
We find ways to have some time alone. I take walks,
Yeah, if you're just the two people, jammed together in a tiny little rig like this, nonstop, 24/7, forever. You're going to kill each other. So, I mean, no matter how close you are from the beginning. So no, you got to have. Well, I do have an axe. No, but
it's only small. It's a small axe.
You're not worried. It's just
damage.
It's a hatchet. It's just a little thing. But
I have bear spray.
No, we have our stuff to kind of keep. We have our own hobbies and things.
We have our stupid arguments that we fight about, like stupid crap, just because you need to blow off steam, which every married couple does. But that's basically all there is to it.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time.
Every once in a while.
I don't think there's any really deep-seated stuff. We haven't gone to a psychiatrist for a long time, so maybe there is, and we just don't know about it. But
so you don't feel like there's any pressure on the relationship since the last 2 years that would or wouldn't have been there before?
I think I put pressure on myself, and I think Eric put pressure on himself, but I don't think we try and put pressure on each other that much anymore. I was much worse at that when we were in Sticks and Bricks.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when we were in Sticks and Bricks, I carried the mental load, and if you're a woman, you know what that means, where you kind of like had to keep track of everything all the time. And I have to say, when we did This Life, I let Eric just go, which was the best thing I ever did, because I was trying to control him before, which was not good. He's not controllable in the first place. And that wasn't good for our relationship. So I actually have to say, since we've been here in This Life, since I've just like decided not to worry about that anymore, since I don't have all those little things I have to worry about being in, working and bills. And, I was constantly on that. Oh God, I worry about this and this. I just let that all go, let Eric go. And we're much happier now because he's doing what makes him happy. And I'm not doing much at all, which really makes me happy. I deal with I cook, I feed him, I deal with, it's weird. It's so like 50s and we're not like that kind of couple, but the roles have turned out to be in this weird modern nomadic era, very kind of traditional, which we're both kind of happy about. I'm fine with it. It's nice.
I think that's awesome. I think sometimes a person does have to step away from the way their life was before to realize some of the things that were getting in the way. And now you're free of those things. Definitely. And I think self-reflection is so key to growth. I think a lot of people, when they start their journey, if they have that opportunity to self-reflect, I know for me, that's probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most. Like, who am I and who do I want to be? Right.
Yeah,
and it takes a while. It takes a while to do that too, though.
Yeah, I think once you get away from all of the other normal pressures of whatever job you were doing and all of the life you have, again, we found that you wake up when the sun comes up and you hang out and have a couple hours of coffee time, and then you kind of do a few things and maybe go for a beautiful hike somewhere nearby, or if I'm working on a project, I spend 5, 6, 7 hours working on the project, and then then again maybe go run into town, find a nice little restaurant nearby. And, we like to try to support local businesses and find local artists if we can and stuff like that too. So it's fun to also, just really explore. That's one thing when you're on a 2-week vacation, you plan everything out and you rush there and you do all the stuff you do, and then you go home. We're here, we can really just hang out and explore, and find a cool little restaurants or a cool little winery or a nice little place nearby that, fun places that are off the beaten path, and you can kind of really get to know people a little, and explore more.
Going Green Mom, does that freedom add to the desire to make the skills, make skills like cooking better? We have wanted to learn how to do open fire cooking and really play with that. It kind of expands. I don't have my normal stove like you would in a house. So I have my, the stove, and then the weird little oven that we have, which is kind of a little bit constrictive, but it kind of it makes you more resourceful about how you're going to cook things or how you're going to do things. I can't make it like this, so how can I make it like that, but not? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you just kind of have to become
a little more creative, and
so it does. I think it does make you more creative, definitely. Thank you guys. Thanks for the great questions too. Awesome.
Yeah,
I love seeing everybody too.
All right, well, I'll let you guys go, and thanks everyone in the chat for being here. Tomorrow we have RV reviews by the Air Force guy, and I'm gonna sign us out with that Hero soap commercial again for those that missed the beginning.
Bye.
Take care.
Thanks so much. Thanks for